Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number 358. You're still in the sun?
No, I'm under the clouds today, thank God. It looked pretty gnarly. I was telling you before we got on air. Yesterday, we went to the Alberta Resort to hang out. I guess that's where all the celebrities hang out and all that. I didn't see anybody famous. Not that I give a shit. Beautiful.
Would you recognize them if they were newly famous?
No, I don't think so. I'm not the one of those celebrity people. Like I wouldn't know if I sat beside Justin Timberlake or not. I would just shoot the shit with him like the regular guy because I have no idea who you are unless you tell me who you are. And even then, what do you think I would fold? Like, come on, it's not that I haven't seen famous people. I guess I'm famous in my own circles. I think the funny thing would have been if I got recognized by somebody in there from the podcast. That would have been funny.
But yeah, that would be.
So, but yeah, anyways, I was playing Johnny Quest today because I needed to get myself some bourbon since I missed the mark of the liquor store. And some cigars. But anyways, let's do some shillings and we'll get into the regular nonsense and boring stuff in a second.
Go buy stuff at Skinny Play. Use promo code for 10% off. Come join our Discord if you haven't yet already, because you'll be the first to know stuff. And some people are more perceptive than others, I saw recently.
Yeah.
Then we have to Greenhouse Studios. Use the link and use the promo code for 10% off as well. It works on 1, it works on 2, it works on your whole order, which is really nice. These Bill Up 8 covers are fucking excellent.
So I'm going to order my grill as soon as I get back to, I was going to say Calgary, back to Montreal.
And don't forget, you can become a supporter for, I think, as low as $1 if you buy Willie a coffee. And if you buy Willie a coffee, you'll get an answer to your topic and a question to the best of our abilities within NDAs and that sort of thing, obviously.
That's it.
So buy Willie a coffee.
You're buying us a coffee, more or less, because I think all these proceeds will go to episode whatever 365, and maybe I'll do a giveaway at that point with whatever money we gather. So if you want to have a cool piece of BNO and a chance to win it, donate more, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, so far there's 2.
So far there's 2, but there'll be more, I'm sure, over time.
Yeah, be the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th.
That's it. So
yeah, I don't think I have much else to say, really.
All right, see you next week, guys.
Yeah, no, it's been one of these slow weeks where literally nothing happens, and is still on vacation, right? And nobody's there, and
yeah, they sent an email to back to school with 20% off of like the bio sounds and whatnots and things, which I don't know. I guess my take on that is, am I too old-fashioned for not liking the sales on BNO products?
They're hardly ever the thing you're interested in.
A, B, like that's a shit we can't get rid of sale, first of all. And second of all, the only time that I remember in my existence collecting this product line for, past 27 years or 30 years, the only time that there was a sale, quote unquote, was the store demo sale, which happened in February.
Yeah.
So I don't understand this back to school stuff and whatnot, but it is what it is. It'd be good to have it. It's yes, they've been doing it for a while, but in the same token, I don't. I guess I'm too old school.
I did see, I think here in the US anyway, they were also running a sale of like if you buy 28s, 50s, or 90s in a theater, that you get 20% off or something like that.
That's
so
not
so like
deal,
the top 3 speaker combo with a theater or a harmony, which is, I mean, that's a better deal. That's
I agree. especially on 50s and 90s. If you can get 20% off, that shaves off a severe or fair chunk off of the grand total, tax or no
Yeah.
tax included, I guess.
I mean, they're ridiculously expensive now. I guess if you want to move some, you can entice people that thought like 2 weeks ago, like, oh, this is over forever now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it's still over. Like, there's no way I'm going to spend 220-ish grand on 90s.
Unless you win lottery. Lottery is a stupid money in there.
Yeah, but then the first thing I'm buying is a bigger house.
To fit the 90s in?
No, just to have a bigger house. Like, to have a bigger yard to be more away from people, because fuck y'all.
Oh, yeah. I guess if I won lottery in States, which would be like stupid money, and you come back to Canada, they'll give you back whatever the taxes they took off. Because there's no tax on winnings in Canada. I know it works like that in Vegas. Coming from Vegas with the winnings, whatever like they tax off, you can at the customs and on the airport, like you file in, and they'll send you back the money.
I think here it's like 23% or something like that.
Yeah, but 23% on like what, $60 million. Right?
I mean, in the Netherlands anyway, it was more. It was like 33.3% or something if you won anything over like €100 in a casino.
Oh shit. So, I'm not worried. I don't even buy lottery tickets. That's more or less a hillbilly's retirement plan. That's what that is.
Let's see. Saturday, August 23rd. That was yesterday. There was a jackpot in the Florida State Lottery with $700 million.
That's stupid money. And those people usually, when they win them, they go broke over a year or two because it's just too much to have. At least the documentaries that I've seen on that, well, the wealthy people or the rich winners get broke right away. So, but yeah, back to school, which to me doesn't really apply to as far as the BNO sale is, but we'll see. We'll see what there's a new update, or was a new update, the beta update on the app, and I don't know what they must have updated the Wi-Fi protocol or connectivity, because in this crap router that we have here in Bahamas, it just immediately connects back as far as the emerge that I brought with me here. There's my alarm clock. But I wish there was a way to toggle the alarms on and off instead of just disabling them by deleting them. Oh, there is a slider now. Oh, I didn't even notice. So on the new app. So people that were wondering, you can actually enable disable. I know there was a question on Discord regarding this. So alarms and timers. I have no timer set.
Let's see how this goes. Because Sandeep said he can join. No, it's then it asks for a password. Hold on.
My 90 Slev is just sending out noises or notices. I'm not sure if you spelled it all wrong, but
so something went wrong with it, probably.
Dumb question. Have you power cycled them both for like at least 5 minutes? I would do them for almost a half hour at least, because the half hour is a little excessive. But I know that when you turn off the power to the master and or the slave, hey Sandeep, nice forehead.
Can you see me? Can you hear
me? Yes. Welcome back. Oh, you had them off for 24 hours. Ooh. Something may be wrong.
How are you, Sandeep?
What is this weird service you're using?
It's called Video Ninja, VDO Ninja. It's completely free, but it's also peer-to-peer. So it's
no more Skype nonsense, and Skype doesn't really exist anymore because it's Teams or whatever.
Yeah, and Skype and Teams won't let you capture the internal stream on your end anymore unless you pay like $10 a month or something.
Surprise.
Yeah, and the regular Skype is completely gone. Like they pulled that off. It's just Teams now, and this is some some open source project 2 guys started before or during the pandemic, and which is kind of nice because like you can password secure all your stuff, and it's not like Skype if people have your number that they keep on calling in and that sort of stuff.
Nobody can really disturb the stream.
How did you find this?
Looking for an alternative because I'm cheap.
I don't think it's even about the cheap. I think it's the fact that like we've outstayed our welcome with the Skype and the Teams. I didn't like the interface of it, and it's just kind of.
Yeah, it's quite business.
Yeah, it's quite business. And what I also now I've gotten an email from Mr. Gates that Windows 10 is going to be no longer supported.
Yes.
What year was Windows 10? What year was Windows 10 from?
2015 or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's your middle name, Willie. Old fashioned.
That's it. That's it.
Nothing wrong.
Too bad I don't make them because I'm too lazy. I used to make old fashions, but now it's just straight bourbon. It's way less labor intensive.
Oh, so I bought myself a whole whiskey cocktail making set a year ago, just to make old fashions and whiskey sours.
Did you get the smoking kit too? That you smoke the glass?
No.
That actually makes a difference. It does taste definitely different. You can get
You'll appreciate this, Willie. What I did is I got the physical stuff. I bought myself a nice tumbler.
Yeah.
And then there's all these like anything on YouTube, there's all these mixology guys that run YouTube channels.
Yeah.
That generally work at like big bars in London.
Yeah.
And they go, this is how we make it, right? So I bought the proper syrup, and
bitters.
I even bought and the bitters, and so the syrup, the bitters, but I also bought like a big ice cube tray.
Oh, to make the big ice cubes.
I bought 2, one which does round globes, and one that does giant cubes. And I use Fiji mineral water to make my ice cube.
Do you actually get them like glass crystal clear?
No, they're not crystal clear, but they're a lot clearer than if I just use straight tap water.
Yeah, I bought an ice maker, I guess, and it was only for 2 ice cubes, but it was like styrofoam lined square with like a rubber insert so you can pull them off.
Yeah.
And what that does, it gradually cools the water. I guess more gradual than if you had it in the freezer just bare. And there was a few times that I was able to pull out, and it was literally like looking through the glass, like completely clear.
Having the giant cube of ice is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeps the whole drink nice and cool.
It keeps it cool because if you go to the shite bars, then they give you here's a freaking shovel of ice, and then it just waters everything down, and it's.
So the thing I got to when I was shaking my the whiskey and everything, shake it with ice, but shake it for like 30, 60 seconds until the shaker's really fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the drink cold, and then you pour a very cold drink on the very cold ice, and then you're good for like 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I usually keep my whiskey in the fridge, not freezer, but fridge. Freezer is no good for it. It does alter the taste of it.
Yeah, it's. I've had to put the whole stuff away because I don't drink very much, but
it started to get there.
It started to get to, because once you get it spot on, you're like, that's tasty.
Yeah,
man, that's tasty. I think I'll have 3 or 4 a week. I was like, no, I think I need to put this away.
3 or 4 a week? You mean a day?
No.
I'm on a bourbon whiskey binge here in the Bahamas. I don't care if it's sad to admit, but I go through a bottle of bourbon every 2 days.
Jesus.
And I wake up to work and work. So, but I just love it, man. I love it. This
But
one
you
won't
don't need
last
it as
long.
antifreeze over there anymore, so why?
Irony of it all is, my colleague that I'm with here, he gets murdered by mosquitoes. Nothing sits on me, bro. I am way too toxic. I am way too toxic for these fuckers to land on me. I swear to God. Like the only place that they bite me a little bit is around the ankles, which I guess that's where the bourbon doesn't get. So
I have the same. I've got friends who they're like highly attracted to the mosquitoes, and I just get a bit of ankles and nothing else.
Mm-hmm. So that's a blessing. I'll take the ankles over the whole body. And doing this the whole time when you're trying to trim stuff out and working with cables, and you have to let them go and you have to start over because the mosquitoes, and it doesn't take much, man. As soon as you hear that by your ear, fuck, it's over.
How long are you there for? Another few weeks?
I'm leaving on Thursday. I have to be back before the end of August because my girlfriend, her lease on the apartment is ending, so I'm going to move her in with me for the 2 months that she's going to stay, going back to Mexico.
Oh, she's going back.
Nobody's getting their visas renewed in Canada.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, they completely have cut it off. They've completely cut off, and I don't agree with it.
You can fix the situation.
No, I can't. We talked about it. I'm not going to do that anyways, but because of our age difference, it would actually raise more suspicion as what it was. So I just, it is what it is. She's got a business plan going on, and her father runs a few businesses, so she's gonna be well off over there.
Cool.
Much better than here, as far as I'm concerned. Because here you're a slave to the system, and at this point, there's no way that you ever own a house in Canada.
Yeah, I mean it's similar. It's similar everywhere. I won't say it's amazing, but this is my luxury retail update for you guys in London. All these kind of global brands, like them all, right?
Yeah.
So let's set B&O aside. The amount of flagship stores they would have in London, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 years ago, let's say, just going into the pandemic, and I'm only judging by who I've bought stuff from, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the first year of the pandemic, 2020, I had my kitchen redone.
I remember that.
And I had it done by Boffi, right? Fancy Italian, very fancy Italian. And they always had two flagship stores in London. One in Chelsea, near Harrods, and one closer to me where there's a lot of the high-end kitchen stores. So they've gone from 2 to 1. They've closed one, right? Mm-hmm. So that's gone. We know what's happened with B&O in London. There's not that many stores, right? There's the big flagship and whatever. And I'm redoing all my lighting, right? So you may not know this, Willie. I'm redoing all my lighting, getting the Lutron blinds finally.
Nice.
Congrats. Paid for. So all of this shit behind me will be gone, right? And in other rooms. So
are you going with the radio of the RAW 3, or are you going? Well, you can't really go with Homeworks because you haven't wired for it. So all the blinds are battery powered, right?
So RAW 3. I was waiting for RAW 3 to be released in Europe and the UK, which happened earlier this year.
Okay.
So it's RAW 3. Anyway, the lighting design company I used, right? They do the Lutron stuff, right? They're very good. But all the lighting products are from Occhio.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
No.
Mike, you've heard of them.
Yeah. Very expensive.
You see a lot of people have got on the ceiling that kind of ring of light.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Oh, then I've seen that. I just don't know what the brand. I never really paid attention to it.
Yeah, and so I've got all my lighting from them. We'll come to how much I've spent in a moment, but
it's not a little.
It's not a little, right? So I'll give you the breakdown of the costs. I'll be interested in what you think. But anyway, the lighting design company said that if you want to go and see the full range of Okkio products, go to the Okkio showroom near Harrods. Incredible showroom, flagship. Incredible showroom. Right.
Yeah.
So I spent 2 or 3 consecutive weekends in there back in May. Got it all ordered. And then I wanted to add something, and they weren't picking up. And I spoke to the lighting and design company. She goes, they've closed their flagship. And I go, really? Even near Harrods?
What?
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Now, Mike, if you saw it, it was a very expensive 2 floors flagship, right?
Yeah.
But it's near Harrods. It's like round the corner from Harrods, and that's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, but they sell light fittings that are like, I don't know, like $5,000 for a table lamp and shit like that.
Not quite. 3s, 4s, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm thinking dollars, but close enough, right? Like, that's enormous money for lighting, and they had to close.
So I asked the lighting design company, and I go, "They gone from the UK?" She goes, "No, they just had a really expensive flagship." I go, "Yeah, I know, amazing, near Harrods." And she goes,
"Yeah, but I guess the cost of overhead killed them."
The cost of overheads just killed them, right? So it's not really about footfall, because you don't expect. It's like a B&O store. You don't expect there to be 30 people in there. It's just the people that you come in, you want them to spend, right?
Yes. It's a destination store, not a browsing store, more or less.
Correct. And you want the people that come in, like, let's use the Okkio store, not to buy one lamp, right? You want them to be doing a few rooms in their house and be spending like
10, 15K.
Minimum, right? Up to like 30K,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it's not about observed footfall. It's about, just what people are spending. So they're not gone, but they're going to have to do one of these co-location, share a space with
another store or another brand of some sorts. Yeah,
another brand. Yeah. So they Bongo. Hang on a second.
The dog is like, screw you.
He's biting into the B&O cables.
No, I've got to. I'm house sitting a dog at one of his friends for 2 weeks, and my one's about to get a bit bossy with him.
No,
I've shut that shit down. Anyway, so this stuff is, all these guys, these big global luxury brands are, they're all moving to like what in London, right? One flagship, no more. Or in Okkio's case, no flagship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you find that surprising, Mike?
So,
I do, absolutely. I mean, a brand like that has some sway over what they pay in rent and that sort of thing, right? It's not just like that some dipshit just dictates.
I honestly think that now that I think about it, like if, let's say, the Quebecson store would close and somebody else would want to reopen a shop, which, B&O stipulation, you have to go downtown or central, right? Like, so if you were to open a store in St. Catharines, I don't think you could even afford it to get a grand opening before the rent would kill you.
Yes.
So the rent on your store, don't you? You don't. I'm not asking you to tell me, but the rent.
Because they own it. He owns the building.
Oh, they own the building, right?
He owns the building. He owns a whole bunch of other buildings that are attached to it, and essentially that's how the store was expanded. It's 2 houses combined, 2 old B&O or Montreal homes that are combined into a store, and then 2nd and 3rd floor are apartments that he's renting out. So there's a revenue coming in from that as well. So the op cost really is lights and water and salaries and all that shit. But I don't think it's feasible.
Where I am, which is not in the central zone, right? I'm the zone just outside. On the high street, right?
Yeah.
The reason a lot of regular stores open and close, restaurants open and close, is because the rent and business rates that they have to pay. The rent is about, so on the main high street, the rent's about $100,000 a year, sterling. So call it 150 Canadian.
Fuck,
Now, if you're a non-luxury, if you're a regular business, it's just too hard to make that work. right?
Well, even if you're
How would
luxury,
you-
right? Like, if
So
you
the,
want
the big Occhio flagship down in Chelsea, I'm assuming they rented it. It probably was 5,000 square feet.
Holy mother of mercy, that's a lot.
But they can't have been paying less than 200 grand a year.
No, there's no
Yeah.
way. There's no way.
I mean, we've been to the flagship store in, was it Bond Street or
Regent Street, the B&O one.
Yeah, and that is enormous. I really wonder what they're paying there. It can't be little.
It can't be little. No.
And quite honestly, I don't think they sell enough to keep that up.
I mean, I'd think similar, or I don't have no idea, but a similar order of magnitude. It's not 100 grand a year. It's much more.
No, because
But then also depends if they're doing, let's say, like in Quebec, so like they're doing a light integration as well. So that, like the operating systems, the automation systems like Savant and whatnot. Lutron has a very good profit margin in it, built in, especially when you go with the shades and the lighting system. Like there is a big profit margin in it, and
these guys only seem to do B&O and the custom B&O stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's all B&O. If you walked into that flagship store, I imagine, and said, "I've got a project. I'm a customer. I've got a project. How do we handle the home automation side?" They wouldn't have anyone there probably who knows. They'll probably have a contact. They say you can call this person who will help you.
And outsource it, yeah.
Outsource it, all right.
Oh, if you need help with automation, I can help.
It's such a new store that if
you come there with the 9,000 broken, they wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Well, if you get something, if you walk in with a BLAP 12.1, right, they probably wouldn't even know it's B&O.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad.
9,000 they'd know because they've got the 9,000C upstairs. I imagine they'd just send that off to someone. But,
yeah.
No, there's no way. Speaking of the 9,000, the best way to connect it to the new core is depends. Like I'm certain you're not going to be consuming FM radio because I don't think it even exists in Europe anymore. AM is like we're not in a Second World War to listen to that shit. So you go through SPDIF to a optical converter, and you go straight into the core, into the 3.5 mil jack, which is an optical input. That is the best quality you can get for sound because then it's the zeros and ones coming from the laser pickup directly to the core. You can do it analog through the power link out. Auxiliary output there is to the core, but then you're listening to your DAC from the 1996, which is where the 9,000 came out. So I have the same way. I have the SPDIF connected directly to the BLF 90s. Hence the conversation that was on the Discord where how do you watch a video and play your music separately? You can only do it with 90s and 50s when they're not on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And a big help to that is also a Halo remote because you can then select the volume independently from the TV, which TV I would just not mute it, but I would just turn it down to 0 because if you mute it, then you have the mute logo pulsating back and forth on the side of the TV screen. So
it's quite, I don't do it very often, but it's quite a nice use case.
I used to do it a lot back in the day when I had the BeoVision 9.
You know what you can also do, what I actually have for something like that? I have a speaker or listening position with no speakers assigned. It lets you do that. So whatever volume it's at, it doesn't matter. It doesn't play anything.
Okay. That makes sense.
I just set it to listening position none.
Oh, I should try that. So I've got theatre only.
Yeah, but you can just untick, like just go up the list, right, and just select none for the center and anything it wants to turn on automatically. Then it just, whatever you do for a volume, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but what are you listening through? 50s?
Yeah.
Okay, but no, he's talking
CD and stuff, right? If I want to do like, I don't know, watching TV on the screen, but don't want any of the sound, I'll turn the 50s on the B Center 2.
Okay.
And they'll just set it to speaker none, essentially. I called it none.
But you're running the signal back into the 50s from the BeoCenter too, then, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It works quite well.
It is quite. So actually, the next couple of weeks. So I watch a lot of sport, as you know. So the US Open tennis has just started. So I'll probably put it on, but not at early stages. I'll just have it on a speaker none, and I'll have my 50s playing music or something. So I do it sometimes.
Let's go full circle again. I just have a couple of questions for you for the Lutron stuff. Like once you're going to integrate, are you doing dimmers predominantly? Are you doing keypads predominantly?
Yeah, so I've ended up with a slightly imperfect scenario.
Okay, describe.
Right. In that all these fancy lighting brands, whether it's Occhio, Flos, all these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will have the lights they'll sell you with different versions, right? That can be DALI driven, or they can be just mains. Mm-hmm. They can just be triggered on by your mains switch. And then for those, they use Bluetooth, low energy Bluetooth. They use Kasambi.
Okay.
You know what Kasambi is?
No.
Kasambi
like an African name.
Kasambi is a Bluetooth low energy protocol that lots of brands will use. So if you're going down the retrofit and you're not wiring for DALI, you choose your lights the same light. Do you want it as DALI version, or do you want it as non-DALI? And the non-DALI.
So the visual effects is the same. It's just the backbone of interface is two different things.
The backbone is different, right? And there you've got a problem in that no Lutron system, whether it's the hardwired Homeworks or the retrofit wireless RA3, none of them will work with. They don't interface with Bluetooth products. Not really. Right?
No, not at all. Honestly, not at all. I've never seen Lutron being interfaced that way.
I mean, trust me, I dug into this, right? And
I'm sure you'd have.
There is
it's not like it's not a $100 Home Depot trip. So I'm sure you've done your research to it. So
yeah, and in the end, who was able to answer the question? Reddit
or ChatGPT. ChatGPT I use quite a bit now to answer my weird questions.
This is highly specific. What I thought was, and in the end, there's a version of you, Willie, in New York, who does a lot of high-end installs, who has 20-30 years of Lutron experience, and he'd answered the same question from other people that I had. He goes, anyway. So in the end, what I end up with when you're doing this retrofit, the RA3, the Lutron kind of keypads, right? Do you know how RA3 works? You know they've got inbuilt dimmers?
Yeah.
But only to dim one circuit.
Yes.
Right. So I've split my living room up into 4 circuits.
So you would need one keypad that tells all the other dimmers, auxiliary dimmers, to control those loads.
So the Lutron keypad will trigger them all on.
Yes.
They'll trigger them all on. But my Lutron keypads won't control the dimming, which is fine for me.
Are they not dimmable? Oh yeah, they are Bluetooth dimmable, I guess. Yeah,
They're
so you can just on and off it.
So I'll have on my coffee table, or I might mount it. I'll have from Occhio their own little dimming little square kind of remote. So long story short, there's Lutron everywhere. It will do all the window treatments will be the Lutron blinds. The only thing I'll have to resort for fine-tuning the dimming is this little separate non-Lutron, this Occhio kind of.
Yes.
Right.
Now, the reason why I was asking about if you're going to go with keypads or dimmers is this is a podcast that I've done with Henrik as far as the home integration goes long time ago when we did that video. If it's the same with the RA3 as RA2, that the dimmer button, or not dimmer, sorry, the keypad buttons have a 0 and 1, basically, right? On or off. If you decide to go with the BeoLiving Intelligence, or, well, you have to go with BeoLiving Intelligence because the BeoLink Gateway does not support Mozart platform anymore, or never have. You can, like I've had in my, every room had its function, right? So my first button was lights, which just turns on the lights. The second button was the function of the room. So bedroom had a sleep, bathroom had a bath, shower had a shower. And within those parameters, you can then program stuff into the gateway that, let's say you go to sleep, and whatever your routine happens to be, let's say, you know, turn on let's, for the sake of example, turn on the BBC radio for 30 minutes and then shut it off. And then shut off the lights 2 minutes after I press this button, because you take your clothes off, obviously, you put your shit to bed, and then the lights, well, for me, they would gradually dim. For you, they would just kick off, right?
Yeah.
But then you can do it all with one button, and then you just press that button, you go to bed, and 30 minutes later, you're already long asleep, but then everything else takes care of itself as far as turning off. So that's something to consider, because you cannot do this with dimmers. Dimmers just show percentage. They don't show on or off.
Yeah.
You don't have that status report come back to the processor. So you'd have.
I'll think about BLI down the road. I suspect probably I won't do it, but I'll think about it. But partly is I'm restricted because I've had to choose lights where the dimming is done by a separate protocol, a Bluetooth protocol, that just locks the dimming of those out. I can have them come on and off, like you say.
I would ask if there's a possibility to have some sort of an attachment, be it RS-232 protocol or a USB, because you have a USB port on the BLI that you could tie in those drivers, but they don't exist on the gateway yet. So those would have to be built first as far as the third-party support.
Are you going to get these lights that move up and down by themselves?
No.
That is cool as shit.
That is fucking cool, bro. That is fucking cool.
How much each one of those are?
I don't know. I'm going to throw up when you tell me the price. I'm certain of it.
They're worth it.
It'll be $6 Canadian, 4.5 sterling.
Ah, they're fucker. But then again, you know, says the guy that has 90s in the room, right? So yeah, this would be worth it, but they're not worth it for me to put them in a house that I rent or apartment that I rent, right? Because, you know, it's just nonsensical.
So I've got one of those in my bedroom. That's what one of those is going in my bedroom.
So if there's 6 Canadians, you should get 5, because then it's an equal round number again.
So Lupus has got a bunch of these above on Discord. He's got a bunch of these above his dining room table, but not the descending version.
I love that they go up and down.
It's very piano-ish. Imagine, like, you know, you have your 50 lenses come up and the lights come down. It's that's sick as hell.
So Willie, this light ring, they use various lights, right? And you can wave your hand. So if you wave your hand underneath it, it'll switch off and switch on.
Okay, so it's got proximity sensors built in as well.
If you hold your fingers like this, right, the color temperature will change.
But they're not RGB.
I actually don't know. And that lighting is up and down. It's not just down. So
oh, that's nice, actually.
So you can hold it a different way and change the up-down split.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
So if you go back,
if you're having dinner, you may want more light up, but if you're doing a puzzle or whatever, it's nicer to get more light down.
Correct. So if you go back to the homepage, I think you had it before.
God, my t-shirt's already soaked.
So if you go to products, and you see the Luna,
the
ball. So click that. So if you click the Suspesso, the second one across.
Yeah. Their website isn't very fast.
Their website's slow. Now scroll down. So scroll down to some of the pictures. I've chosen in my living room three of those.
They really look very close to bocce lights.
So scroll up to a bit. See, scroll up to the top, Mike.
Yeah.
Scroll up to the top. So you see the stem of the light, the
Yeah.
vertical stem, right? So you've got the same thing. You can wave your hand, switch it on off. You can hold it to change the color temperature. And you can touch the other side, wave the other side, and the brightness will go up and down.
That's cool.
So I've got I've got three of those. They're going to be hung in the center of the room, and then it's
almost too bad that they only consider basically hands-on local control of the lights instead of having something other than that little module thing that they have, because I think there is a market for what we're talking about, to integrate it with like the KNX or Connects, whatever, or the other brands that are in Europe.
You can specify this. I chose this, and because mine's a retro, I have to choose the Bluetooth be it the Kasambi Bluetooth control of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose it, and in their showroom, not the Okio showroom, but in my lighting and design company, in their showroom, they've got it DALI specified, right?
Okay.
So everything you want is done via Lutron. Dimming as well. I'm just, because I'm a retrofit, I'm a bit restricted, right?
I don't understand why the retro, so is it only Lutron Homeworks then that it works with?
That's what I was saying, with these types of lights, these brands, right? Whatever the light is, whatever this one or the circular ring one, you choose it, and you can choose it where the backbone is DALI, or the backbone which is what you would do if you're hardwiring and starting from fresh, right?
But you have to hardwire it from the DALI processor into the light.
Yeah, so hence, unless you're doing a complete refurb, it's just not going to work. But you can also specify it as, well, I'll just control it with their controller.
So hang on a second. So if you specify them for DALI, you have a DALI processor, right? I guess that's a panel that you have the electrical loads come out of to these certain locations, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're fucked, because if you would have to replace the breaker or pull those lights off of the breaker for that room somehow. And
I'd have to rewire the whole place, which I'm not.
Yeah. You should have done that when you had your floor ripped up.
They did show that they have an app for all the lights.
They have an app. Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need the remote.
I don't necessarily need the remote. And look, in the end, some people do this stuff and they've got they'll put all the products, they'll put the control system, and they go, I've got 18, like you, Willie, 18 different use case scenarios, right?
Yes.
But some people, one of my friends has got a big 7,000 square foot house, and he's not super into this, but he put in Lutron lights and some switches 10, 15 years ago. And he said to me, I never use it.
The breeze.
He goes, I just turn it on and off, right? And he's got a big 6,500 square foot house, but he didn't go through, this, Willie, he didn't go through, he just asked someone to put stuff in. He didn't think about the use case scenarios. So
yes,
part of getting this is to have the nice stuff and have some control. Some people would go down to the nth degree, like you, I need all these use case scenarios. I don't have that many. I just don't have that many. What I will have is with the Lutron blinds, I'll have them go up and down with the daylight, right?
Yeah, that's basic simple logic that you can program through the processor itself. Yeah.
So I put everything. I put all my use case scenarios on a spreadsheet, as you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
So
that's, by the way, the most appreciated when people spend the time and put this in the writing of that level, because it's not a napkin drawing, and then you're kind of well, fuck, we've talked about that, but then I don't remember. No, if you have it broken down, it's so much easier for the programmer.
Yeah, and I found that the lighting design company was super nice. It was super nice, and I thought I was irritating the lady because I kept on going, here's my spreadsheet. I put it all on spreadsheets, and she was like, "It's fine." And actually, I think it makes life easier for them.
Exactly. It's not that you're a needy asshole. It's not that you're a particular. You know exactly what you want, which eliminates the likelihood of error or misprogramming to almost 0%.
So those three balls, Mike, that are coming down in the center. I've got also spotlights going around the perimeter of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Also from these guys. Also from these guys.
You probably need to get a what is it? iWatch Air or whatever it's called.
I've got one, yeah.
Because apparently their app runs on that, and you can just do your lighting on your wrist, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, so I can use the little crown just to turn the
That's cool.
up and down. So spotlights around the side, but because I'm having wood paneling eventually next year done on the main media wall.
Yeah.
So rather than put spotlights, Willie, in front of that, we put these long, thin wall washing lights.
Yeah. That'll accent the shit out of it. That's awesome.
So here's the breakdown. I want your thoughts on the cost, Willie. You can laugh at me afterwards.
Obviously, there's no laughing.
When I thought, oh, shall I do this year? Back in January, I thought I'll spend. There's a bit of building work and I need a full ceiling because I've got a concrete ceiling up there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of work. Anyway, I thought this is going to end up costing like 20, maybe 25 grand.
Yeah, so round it up to 30 so you're not butthurt when the bill comes.
So this week we broke 50.
There you go. See? But no, that's just the fact of reality.
Pounds or Canadian?
I don't think he's talking Canadians, brother. Sterling. So yeah, you're about what, 75, 80K of our funny money here?
Yeah, I mean it's so far from sensible. So
but you do it once and you do it for good, man. Like, that's the lights you'll die with, essentially.
The lighting is probably the Occhio stuff is about 18, 19 sterling. The Lutron windows, oh fuck me, the Lutron blinds, fuck me, they're expensive.
I honestly had
you know
few of my clients back in I've had a couple clients in Calgary when we were doing this. I said it's easier for you to get yourself a business license and go to a store that I forget the name of it, something electric in Calgary than in Montreal, because I don't know where those things are. But it was easier for them to go and just buy this as an electrician and save 45% cost off of the actual retail.
So I've got a 10% discount on on the Lutron. Yeah, we know the margins are fat, so they offer me 10%, no issue, right?
Yeah. They have a lot of room to work with that for sure.
So of that 50, 18 or 19 for Occhio stuff, the Lutron blinds. So each of these blinds behind me, there's 4 windows in here.
Yeah, I'm looking at like what? Yeah, I was gonna say 25 to 2K a window. I was gonna say $5,000 because I'm thinking in Canadian money. So yeah.
No. So these four windows are 10 grand.
Yeah, 5K Canadian each. Basically, that would be
not 5 each. They're about 3 each. So it's come to about 11,000. So call it 16.
What are you going with? Are you going with the honeycomb with the aluminium lined? Well, they're blackouts at that point, so I don't think you would do that.
I didn't want blackout. It took me ages to choose the fabric, but
I know, dude. It's like buying a BeoSound shape. Like the amount of tiles you want and the amount of fabrics is the same thing. Like when the guy comes and opens 7 binders of that are 3 inches thick. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, and it's how much translucency do you want? How much this? How much? What the color? What the pattern of the fabric? And it's just the rabbit hole goes so deep that sometimes you can't even reach the bottom, no matter how hard you try.
Well, the thing I found, I mean, on my windows, I've taken them down now. I had taped up fabric samples everywhere, right? And the issue with this is, if you need blackout blinds, it's easy. Just get blackout blinds. But if you want some degree of translucency,
how much translucency?
Yeah, so 10% to
10. They do 10, 6, 5, 3, and then generally 0, right?
Yeah.
So, but the issue I found was mine. I think are 3 or 5. I can't remember. The issue is I've picked these beautiful fabrics, right?
Yes.
And then you put them on the window here, and when it gets pitch black outside, then when I'm in the living room,
people can see through.
No, they can't see through. For me, they look one beautiful color. If it's sunny outside, bright blue sky, they completely change color. And if it's cloudy, they're in the middle. And you're like, how do I fucking solve this problem? And in the end, you just
don't.
Have to make you don't, right? You have to make it just make.
You don't, like that, because it's the same with everything. Like the light in your house changes based on the sunlight and the day of the year that you're in. You know, everything's more orangey and yellow during the winter versus it's much more whiter and brighter during the summer because the sun is higher and so on and so forth.
So go back a page, Mike. Go back to the. I'll show you which one. Go to products.
Products
at the top. Go to not that one. Go back again.
Products.
Metolinear. Second one from the left.
Yeah,
click that.
Got it.
Click that. Their website is a bit, and you see the black one at the side. Meto Alto side.
The Volo?
No.
The Alto.
Meto Alto side. Click that one. So that's not a very good picture. I'll scroll down.
Those are nice.
So you see those? See them in that picture, right?
Yeah.
The two. So I've got 2 1 meter ones, right? And if you zoom in on that, if you zoom in on those, go back up. Go back up. If you zoom in and go back to the lights, so you can go back, show the lights. So those are surface mounted, or you can semi-recess them.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've gone for the plaster-in semi-recessed versions.
Oh, no wonder you broke 50 then.
Yeah. Well,
that's a lot of work.
So but then the installation labor is sold separately, right? Because you got to have somebody to come in there and plaster the shit in and recess it and yada, yada, yada.
And with all this stuff, right? You need a good, if you're having plaster-in versions, right? All my spotlights are plaster-in, so no ring.
Yeah.
So you need a perfect plaster circle around.
Yeah, level 5 finish, basically. That's what we call in Canada.
So of that 50, the guy who's coming to do it, I met him. He's really nice. He's doing some big houses in Chelsea because I'll spare some of the guys. We'll come and do it for a couple of weeks. So I think it's 8 to 10 days work. So week and a half to 2 weeks. So he was 14,000 sterling. So 20 Canadian.
Yeah, if you want it done fast and cheap, you can have it good. If you want it great, then it's not going to be fast, but it's not going to be cheap.
So that's how we got to 50, to my great embarrassment.
I don't think it's a great embarrassment. It's just the fact of reality of how much, if you want to have it done right, costs. And quite honestly, if you don't spend that money properly and you do cheese out and cheap out on shit, then you're looking at something that bothers the fuck out of you for the rest of your existence in that place.
Yeah, so Willie, I'm like you. In the end of the day, if you slightly go down this road, you're slightly all in.
And you're totally all in.
You're all in, and then you kind of, it's like, okay, well, if you're buying this expensive stuff, someone needs to spec
You need it professionally done, period.
So I had to find a contractor, and I had to put out a request on the platform. And the first 2 people will call me back, right? I don't mean to sound bad, right? And they call back, and they're just English just wasn't very good.
So you got a Jimmy the Trunk Slammer fucking coming in.
I'm I had to be polite, rude and polite at the same time. But at the end of the day,
Rudely polite.
Rudely polite. But you know what it's like. I mean, I'm paying all this money. I don't want to be sitting here in the middle of the install trying to explain something to someone who doesn't speak very good English. I'm like, not doing that.
No.
You need at least one guy that understands it fully, and it doesn't matter if they speak something else to each other.
Correct. Yeah. So
you don't want to end up on like the Instagram shorts that I've seen where there's the Mexican contractor that came in and the guy walks into the house and they removed all of the flooring except the bathroom, where he just wanted the flooring in the bathroom to remove. And
so couldn't have got it more wrong.
No. And then what, right? Like they just run away because their business is done, because obviously it was in States somewhere. So the lawsuit was right away. And you're coming home, hopefully with underwear, I believe. So
my only, now that we're all sort of done, this is going to be done the middle 2 weeks of November.
Okay.
So my only thing is, I need to
take some progress photos if you can, please.
I will do.
Document it. It'd be nice to see if you're gonna post it on Discord and stuff, because people would appreciate to see the process of what it takes, and then also I guess it enhances the understanding of the cost related to the commitment.
So my only issue now is I need to mostly empty the living room because they're going to be putting a fake ceiling. So I need to disconnect the 50s. That's easy. I can put them in the spare bedroom on my own. The cabinet that's underneath the theatre, I can take that out, and all the DVD player, whatever, out. The only thing is, should I leave the LG and the theatre on the wall and just cover them?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not about the dust. It's about the fact if something falls or whatever, because there are days, no matter, I'm a fucking good installer, man. Every now and then I drop a screwdriver or some shit, fucking bit comes off the screwdriver and the bit flies off. No way, man. It's double layer of blankets for me and such and whatever. I would never fucking risk this ever again.
It's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it, man. The theater is way too much money, and if they ding your wings or whatever, like you're fucking now another 500-600 pounds off, right? On top of that, because you're not gonna look at shit damaged, and I would never take the risk. And you can't wrap it properly, because even if you do wrap, let's say, the front of the theater, you still will get dust ingress into the connection bay because that's on the wall bracket itself. Maybe I would leave the wall bracket on.
Yeah,
just so you don't just so you don't fuck with the screws and make them loose, because in and out it's more or less like an IKEA, right? When you start messing with the wall anchors and fasteners. But I would disconnect everything, and I would first I would wrap the wires or cables in saran wrap, and then around the hole with a masking tape. Because what I find over time, it depends. I don't know what the quality of masking tapes are in England, but I had found that sometimes you peel that shit off, and the glue residue depends on what quality of wires you have. Sometimes the glue stays on the cable when you take it off, and then you have these sticky ass cables, and it's a shit show to work with. And then you spend time cleaning it with rubbing alcohol and blah blah blah. I would completely take that off, and I would take the panel wouldn't even be up for discussion. Everything comes off the wall. Clean it up, man. You'll never regret it.
Yeah, if it's too heavy, the only thing I could potentially see you do is get the tops, the styrofoam tops for the 50s, put those on and then wrap it, right? Like if you don't need to do anything around there.
I've got all of that. So I think if I'm gonna clear most stuff out, I may as well clear everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 6 of one, half dozen the other. But I would still opt in to clean everything out. I would even honestly, even though it's 2 weeks, whatever, either put the 50s in the box. Personally, what I would do, I would take the bottoms from if you have the cases still. I don't know if you kept them or not.
I do, yeah.
If you did, I would sit them on a moving blanket. I would sit the styrofoam on the moving blanket, lift the 50, put it on the styrofoam blanket, drag it the fuck off to the other room, and either use a saran wrap because it completely will seal it, or just then box them up. Because
I
the
was
dust
gonna,
is a
I
son
was
of a
going to drag
bitch.
them. I was going to drag them on a blanket, but actually, I may as well put the styrofoam underneath.
Put the styrofoam underneath. It'll help to balance the speaker out when you're dragging it, because the 50s are not 90s. 90s have 3 points that you can just put them on, and the likelihood of tipping over is zero. But the 50s, you can do the wobbly dobbly, and when they fall off, man, that's a hard break and a half, right? So I would do that with the styrofoam base at least.
But it sounds like I bet I'll get one of the guys from the my dealer just to come and help me, and on the way out, and then just to put everything back on the way in.
You're already pregnant with it, so you might as well just go full term. That's my because once it's dinged, that it doesn't matter how cool all this shit looks. At the end of the day, you're gonna fucking look at the speakers, and that's a constant reminder I should have moved them. Period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are plastering the ceiling, so there will be micro dust absolutely everywhere, won't there?
Oh
God,
yeah.
they're going
It
to have
doesn't
to
matter how
sand
much.
it. It's going to be so dusty.
Oh God. Yeah.
Tape up all the HVAC grills.
Yeah, they don't have those really in the UK, do
they? I wish I had HVAC. I wish I did.
Okay, well, it's I wish I had HVAC, but that's the devil's fucking advocate for dust, because the return vents will always pull some of that nonsense in and distribute it throughout the entire house. And the worst thing is walnut. If you have microdust on walnut, it is almost damn near impossible to properly clean off because of the micropores in the wood.
Anyway, well, that's my project. Long talked about, but now being done.
Well, I think the biggest variable is, right, like yes, it's expensive, but if you don't intend on moving until you're, I don't know, need to go to like a care home or something, then it's not that bad, because you'll be living with it for like 20, 30, maybe longer years.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm not moving.
So exactly, do it right the first time. It's way cheaper than redoing it, because also, when are you going to have allocation of time to also redo it? And excuse me, then it's even more expensive, because you still have to fucking take shit off and correct everything that's wrong, and then reinstall it correctly again and redo that part of finish. So if you're doing it once, do it right. I always say that to people: don't spare a penny and a dime, because the fixing is always 2 to 3 times more expensive. It's the same thing that people that I've been developing homes with, the pre-wiring costs you minimally, comparatively. And from my personal experience doing this for a couple of weeks, is people that do that, then they realize, oh fuck, I should have put this there and put that there. The retrofit cost is usually 3 to 4 times more expensive than actually installing it at the first time. Even if you abandon the wires, like, Lutron wires are more or less same price cost as a higher end Cat 6 cable. So, if you buy a couple spools of that and you just put it in, I'm not saying for your case scenario because it's a retrofit, but if you're doing something that you consider doing something, people that are doing anything, if you want, send me the drawings and I will review them for you, and I'll give you an advice on how to do it. And you know what? If you abandon the cable in the wall, it's there for good, and it's there. And if it's labeled somewhere at the end rack end, that you can still go and put stuff in afterwards. But to do it, and especially in England or Europe, where the houses are not built out of fucking toothpicks and paper, it's much harder to go in and redo it, because Mikey can tell you all about it. When why do you have the goofiest plug somewhere? Because I'm not chiseling fucking concrete, right?
No.
And that's also a major dust factor too.
I think the point you make, Willie, about whatever the planning is, how you run your control scenarios or how you do your wiring, it's really hard for one person to do it. And I would definitely recommend, mine's not overly complicated. I designed all my control scenarios and whatever myself. Mine's a retrofit, not the biggest deal in the world. But it was definitely the case that I'd look at it and then look at it again and come back to it 2 weeks later, and then things change. For people doing that, they should always, once you reach the stage, get someone else to look at it.
Yeah,
yes. They'll definitely point something out.
that you would never have seen till it's all finished and done, and you go, oh man.
Yeah, in Dutch there's a sort of saying which sort of translates to you stare yourself blind on the details.
Yeah, in English, just you're just too close, too in the weeds, right?
Yeah.
You can't see the wood from the trees or whatever stayings there are. So it is always worthwhile having someone else look at it.
Yes. And someone that has done it for a little longer than 2 weeks. Or, they have an understanding of it. I guess my blessing is that my career path in life was, I spent 8 years in architecture building huge commercial spaces, and then I've kind of diverted to high-end home building design. And then, I've been sucker for B&O for a long time. So for me, the integration of that is almost second nature, and I can tell you exactly what can't work based on the limitations that I know. There are ways to work around it, but do you want to wait for the commercial solutions from B&O and blah blah blah? So it's integration is I never looked at myself as an integrator. I always looked at myself as a psychiatrist for very wealthy people or high net worth individuals, whatever you want to call it, because I don't care how much money you have. You can have all the money in the world if you don't have the idea that money means nothing.
No, correct.
That money means absolutely nothing. And given the example, like the house that we're doing here is 36,000 square feet. Bro, I've been doing Lutron keypads termination just to prepare them for the connection for 3 days.
For the Euros out there, that's roughly 3,400 square meters.
It's a house that I fucking got lost 3 times in, for fuck's sakes, before I wrapped my head around the layout.
But
and
like, I don't...
my curse is that I am so meticulous, and they had figured out in the company that I work with now, they had figured out that I am that guy. So I am going to be with my partner here that is with me. We are the ones that are going to be terminating and building the racks. There's 3 racks in that house. 48 U high.
I mean, that's quite literally about 29 times larger than the average family home size in the Netherlands.
But that's just the home. I'm not counting the patio. I'm not counting the poolside. I'm not counting anything that is upstairs. And it is. This is the most insane house I'd ever worked on. Period.
How much B&O stuff is going in? A lot.
None. So far, none.
Oh, so far none. So it's just
they're using James audio. It's the infrastructure and there's 81 zones of audio, which I don't think it's even possible for B&O to do.
No, it's not. You're gonna have to combine zones and areas and stuff.
Or you kind of run subnets on each floor.
So what are the products yet to be decided?
Everything's more or less decided. There's been a lot of changes. This house has been being built for 12 years now. So there's also the fact that if you have infinite money, you have also infinite time to change. And I think this is the longest. This is fucking Babylon Tower. Like when they started building this house, there was nothing around it. Now there's a full marina built around it with condos, and it's insanity. It's absolute insanity. But everything is going to be run through Control 4. And all the speakers are in-ceiling speakers that are by James Audio. They're small aperture, so essentially you have an opening this big on the speakers when they come out, and then there's a huge aluminum chassis box that is behind it with the subwoofer, the crossovers, and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. I've never seen speakers that are a tube of a Coke. Actually, the speakers are this big, mid-range and tweeter coaxially. And the base port is vented on the bottom around it in holes.
So how did they end up with that product? How did they end up
amazing.
How did they end up choosing that?
This was decided way before my time, and like I said, this has been in a build for 12 years. So the company that I work with now, they got involved in 2018 with it. So the spec was it's literally a Babylon Tower. There's people from Portugal working on the stonework, and there's people from Kenya or Haiti or something that are doing the mudding, I guess. no offense, but if you build mud huts
The
for the
stucco.
whole life, you know how to make it. Yeah. No, it's concrete applied by hand, smoothened by hand, and they fucking do an unbelievable job at it. Then there's I think a drywall crew is from Peru, out of all the places. I don't know why. And then there's us from Canada, and then there's the integrator is from
So you
US,
really are,
from Miami.
you really are part of the global dream team.
Pretty much.
So, Mike, somewhere on the Okkio website is one of the B&O stores in Germany. It's full of this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost a cola. Lupus lives near it, right? That's how he ended up.
I was just thinking to myself, right? I follow some local interior designers here on Instagram, and these people, to my mind, are fucking mental, because this would never work because the light is too soft. Like here, they don't recommend you go any softer than, let's say, 3,500 K in terms of lighting temperature.
But what do you think of that?
That's like operating room sort of brightness white, right? Like they go, I mean, when I had some ceiling lights put in, the lowest it went was 2,700 K, which is kind of normal light, right? But they were surprised. Like, you don't want it at 4,000 K in terms of white color? Like, that's awful. It's like, yeah, but that's what we do everywhere. It's like, yeah, but that's awful.
That'll make you sick over time, bro.
Yes.
That light is no good for you.
I'll give you a contrast. The lighting design company, who I work with them because they're really nice, and they basically said all those Okkio lights where the temperature is variable, the temperature range on their standard products is 2,700 up to 4,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you can specify extra warm, so it shifts the range. And they basically say for all their projects, right? And they do some big, expensive projects. For all their projects, they specify for the clients not 27 to 4,000, but 2,200, all the way down to 2,200 up to 3.5. So
yeah,
I was going to say, at the most, I would do that.
And their actual experience center is not Okkio's, the lighting company, design company, is out in Surrey. I had to go down there and have a look at it. And I played with, it's my first experience of playing with temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
And in their living room that they built, having the temperatures down at 2,200 was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like a setting sun. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Also, Steve, if you're going to the BeoFactory tomorrow, I don't encourage theft of any kind, but you have to take one bottle opener from the cafeteria. It's the most stolen B&O item.
Very specific amount of theft.
This is very specific, and you have to take it from there, man. And then you include it in part of your giveaway.
But yeah, like people here with lights are fucking mental. Like even our neighbors, right? It's a nice house, but when they turn the lights on, it's like you're in a dentist office or something like that. It's
I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that at all.
I mean, I'm not saying anything because I'm like, I guess, pleasant enough to keep my mouth shut. But it is sort of like why? Like this is awful.
It's the same thing. Like, I don't understand when the guys don't put reduced blue light on the G panels. When it brings the natural warmth back and it gives that B&O feel to the old screens.
Yeah.
Because if you have that non-reduced blue light, it's like, am I in the office? I just, turned off my spreadsheet, Excel, whatever I was working on, and I'm just watching a movie on my lunch. It's absolutely ludicrous. I feel sick when I see that. Like, those lights they don't work with me in my eyes at all. It
feels like you're gonna have surgery or something.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
No, it's not good for you. It fucks with your sleep patterns as well. People don't realize.
So I have my iPad and my Mac on. I have the setting that it changes the color temperature down.
It goes all yellow
through the day. As we'll get tonight. Yeah, that blue light's no good.
But like, especially at night, if I'm just watching something or maybe just hanging around or playing with a cat, right? Like I don't need to have a room that has no shadows. I just need some ambient light so I don't walk into things. And it's much nicer when it's softer light. It's I don't understand it. Like they build white boxes and the light is whiter than the fucking paint on the wall. Right? It's just like, what the hell?
Well, it turns it bluish. It turns it blue hue, right? It discolors your whole house, so it doesn't look the same during the day that it looks at night when you turn all this stuff on. And especially when it's non-dimmable, where it's just like, wow, it's either this or I'm just completely seared my eyeballs with all this nonsense. So
yeah, I mean, the pot lights I have are dimmable, right? But like the dimming range I actually use out of this is like here, like even on the soft light, it's like it's so much light when it's all on. It's like if I'm chasing a bug or if there's a spider that the cats are after, sure, whack it up, right? But other than that, it's sort of like, what the fuck's the point?
Yeah, that's the scariest thing in my house when I have the cat there, because I can't let any insects in the house, because if that fucking fly, God forbid, lands on the 90s, bro, the cat don't understand, right? So I can't really blame it because it's just an animal, and they're going after what's moving. So yeah, screens everywhere and no air let in without being filtered by a screen on the window, because then when those bugs get in,
dogs are a lot easier in that sense.
Well, also with 50s and aluminium fronts with cats, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
I mean the dog's never even sat on the Eames chair.
I mean, one of my cats climbed up a 50 on the front with the aluminium, and it was fine.
Holy shit, well, yeah, but
it hurt some bird, and it was like, I can hear where in the tweeter where the bird is. I'm going to investigate.
Willie, I'm selling my Eames chair. My Eames chair's going.
Why?
Don't use it that much anymore, and I just want something a bit different. If you're not using it, then
well, you also have
I look at mine more than I sit on it. Yeah, I look at mine more than I sit on it, to be honest. But yeah, well, you know what? Whatever you do, you'll never lose money on it, because it's way more expensive now than what you bought it for, at least by 30% in Canada. Like the Eames, the Herman Miller furniture went up significantly over time, especially after the C19 nonsense happened.
I checked the, so similar, about 30% here. I mean, they were never cheap. The wood I got on mine, I can't remember what. It's not the same as yours. What's yours? The Santos Palisander?
Mine is walnut. Yeah. No. I didn't go with Santos Palisander. That was another $5,000 on top for the wood. I just went with walnut because everything was walnut. But so you can go beech, oak. I think they have maple now. You have Santos Palisander, the walnut, and
mine's quite reddish. Not red, but a reddish wood.
Maybe it's rosewood, but which would be supplemented by Santos Palisander, because rosewood was discontinued due to the sustained harvesting of the forests a lot of years ago. So you probably have the Santos Palisander, which is that's the top.
So before I had the dog, I used to sit on it all the time, and now I sit with the dog on the sofa, so I don't really use it. And
I don't have a sofa, so
you don't have a sofa. Yeah, I probably want something a bit softer, something fabricy. So anyway, it's the bye Eames chair.
For me, the biggest problem with the Eames chair that I find that it is impossible for me to finish a movie on it. I just doze off. I doze the fuck off, man. I wake up and the TV's playing something completely different, and it's 3:00 in the morning, and then I just, oh Christ, I just should go to bed.
It's just too large for an Eames chair, even the XL version.
Mm-hmm. I have the XL version.
I mean, you probably like the headrest is probably more of a headrest, right? But even the XL one, it ends like here, so I would be laying on the back of the wood if I'd like tip my head back.
Yeah,
and it's just unpleasant.
Yeah, I mean, I do love mine, but yeah, I'm going to get something a bit softer. That's going. Talking of brightness. Now I've had in my bedroom, the bedroom theatre, I had to swap the G2 for a G5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The G5's nice.
I bet.
And now that I'm in insane mindset, I was like, should I change my living room 77-inch G2? Should I change it to a G5?
83?
No, not 83. Not 83. I'll tell you where the G5 makes a difference to me. Like if you're watching a movie with a good source on your G2, you're all good, right? It looks gorgeous. And I don't think that's not worth changing to a G5 for. But with regular shitty content through my set-top box, the G5 makes shitty content look a bit more impressive.
You know what's funny? I haven't installed the G5 yet because I parted ways with Galaxy before that even came out. But G4 panels, when we did them on set-top boxes, every single set-top box, when you watch a hockey game, which is obviously a national pastime in Canada, the ice looks fucking dirty. It doesn't look white anymore because it's overcompensating for the reflections from the ice that the camera sees now.
But it's also ABLing like crazy because it can't do that much white at that brightness.
Yes. So it was interesting because we've watched hockey on the G2 that the guy had, and it was a better picture through the set-top box than the G5. What in the fuck is that? Eternity Modern.
I'm not getting one of those.
Is that what you're getting?
Joe Colombo Elder chair.
That looks like something that Captain Picard would sit on.
It's on rollers, so you can do this on it.
Okay. But yeah, that's kind of weird. It's like the frumpy couch that Eric likes.
But it's the backrest is comes to like here, let's say, on me. So and it's very soft, and it's
almost like a first class airline cabin seat.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like Air Dubai or something that you sit on. Like, is it memory foam? Probably.
Probably.
Or the only memory you have is how much you paid for it.
It's not that expensive. Like the fancy leather one is like $5,000, but with fabric it's like 2.5. I mean, compared to an Eames chair, right? That's not that expensive.
No, it's not.
Like I was looking at an Eames chair here a while ago, and like the actual licensed one, not the fake ones, are like $8,500 or something.
I was gonna say they can be less than $8,000.
Yeah,
but going back to the price, you're right, Willie. But about 30% ish is what the Eames have gone up by. I was expecting more, given that we know some luxury stuff is 2 to 2.5x over the last 5, 6, 7 years. 30%, I was like, okay, that's not terrible. Could have been a lot worse.
Well, I guess wood isn't that scarce yet.
It depends on what wood again, right?
Any excuse these days for these companies.
So.
No, you don't have a 911 anymore. You have a BMW now.
I have a golf cart.
Ooh. It's not electric, right?
Oh, it's full EV, yeah.
Oh, fuck. You drank the Kool-Aid and ate the cup.
Do you know what?
But if you don't drive far, and I guess like that's the thing that distance comparisons in Europe versus Canada or US, it's two different worlds. Like, you know, you have to plan your
average annual mileage in the UK is about 8,000 or 9,000 miles.
Fuck, I do that in like 3 months.
So keep that number in mind. That's the average in the UK.
Yes.
8,000 or 9,000 miles. Let's just call it 10. And I do 2.5.
Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense.
London.
Sorry?
It's all in London too.
Yeah, if I need to go out into the countryside, I'll take the train. I can't be bothered with it.
Well, also passing the M25 is a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, so I mean, I could go if I was going to play golf out in like the countryside. Quick Google Maps, and Google Maps would say, "Dude, this is going to take you 70 minutes." And I'm checking at 8 in the morning. I'm like,
wow, that's worse than
like,
Montreal traffic. Fucking, that's pretty bad here.
My point is the Google Maps estimate doesn't take account of what I'm looking at outside my window, which is the school traffic. So I was like, yeah, it's going to take me 50 minutes to get to the to the highway, right?
Yeah.
So I just generally drive locally around here, and as a little town city runaround, it's perfect.
Well, you almost drive for free.
And the other thing is, it may not have happened in. I mean, I'm not in the outskirts of London. I'm more centre than not. Is that when I bought my apartment here 20 years ago, there was gas stations, not everywhere, but a bunch of them I could choose from. And now, where there was 6 I could choose from, there's now 2. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're driving, let's say you're driving with your friend, and he says, "What does he say? Does he say hit the gas or hit the accelerator now? Because you don't got fucking gas in the car no more."
The only living being in my car usually is the dog.
He don't talk. He don't care.
So I'm not sure what you do this. I picked up my friends the other day. A couple. We were going for dinner at another friend's house, and the dog was coming with me. The dog sits on the front seat next to me.
Yeah.
So the couple had to get in the back.
The dog's like, "Fuck all y'all." Sitting at the front.
So I charge my EV at home here on a nighttime tariff. So I charge it overnight, and it's organised by the building that I live in, right? So they meter my charging separately. They just sent me the invoice for the year.
Yeah.
So 2,500-3,000 miles. I charge it 3 times a month. So each charge came out at £3.50.
That's nothing.
So that's like what, a liter of gas over there?
Sort of.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah. So my annual bill for gas, in this case, was £132.
Yeah, that's nothing. Then again, your car takes like AAA batteries, essentially.
Yeah, it's got 150 mile range. It hasn't got big range, but I don't need. But I effectively drive for pretty much close to free.
I mean, it's one of these electric cars that essentially only makes sense in like London, maybe Amsterdam or New York, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're stationary, which happens a lot, like London is back to the point where like a horse and wagon was the same speed as the current traffic.
At least you don't have shit on the road.
Correct, but like at least you're not using anything when you're just sitting there idle, right, in an electric car.
Fair enough, yeah.
Like my friend in Miami, that's why he went electric as well, is because like he sits stationary for hours a day. And like,
yeah, that's a lot of people in Montreal have EVs because of that too, because the traffic, like if you get on the Highway 40 or Highway 15, anywhere during the day, like if I were to drive to my girlfriend's house, it's about a 45-minute drive. Past 8 o'clock, it's 20. 15 minutes. No, 15. I'm not one of those people. But you could make it there in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I wish I could say the same here. We've got these, I talked about this before.
The speed cameras.
So, yeah, there's particularly in the central parts of London, even extending out to me, there's lots of roads now that are 20 miles an hour. Which is 30 kph.
Oh my God, Montreal is the same way. But you know what? They don't have any speed cameras here. And I've grown up, not grown up, but I've lived in Calgary for 24 years before I moved to Montreal. And the speed cameras or red light cameras are almost everywhere now, right? So even if you run the light, or you don't run the light, but you're going over the speed limit, you get your trunk or boot taken care of or taken picture of. So it's if people run red lights in Montreal like there's nobody business. Like if they implemented these cameras, in my opinion, economically, they would have been paid for from the fines within not even a year.
Oh yeah, the amount of so my local council, the borough that runs my zone, don't ask how I know this, but I do. They make tax revenue from local taxes, like property taxes, effectively, and they'll also make revenue from car parking. So they'll sell people a residence parking permit for out on the street, and they'll make money.
Same in Montreal.
And they'll make money off people who are just rocking up and just paying for 1 or 2 hours, right?
That's Montreal as well.
And they'll make money also from people who are doing building works and want a whole parking bay suspended for their skips and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
you got to get special permits for that, and you have to pay for that, which is more expensive than actually just getting there in the morning and parking all day.
So my local, I'm in one of the 4 or 5 big boroughs of London, and so their revenue, there's a lot of properties in the area, blah blah blah. So they on their accounts in the parking revenue section, all those 3 official sources of revenue: residence permits, pay and display, suspension of parking bays. If they make, I'm going to make up the numbers here. If they make 50 million a year of legitimate revenue,
yes.
How much do you think they make off fines?
Similar.
Relative to that 50 million.
I would say it's 3 times more.
No, they make 100%. So for every 50 million they raise legitimately, like through predictable sources, they're making another 50 million off fines.
Yeah, well, at least you can sell it through the purview of safety, right? Instead of putting council tax up.
I thought that was an interesting. Same in Kensington, Chelsea, the big Westminster, the big boroughs. Whatever they make in predictable revenue from permits and stuff, they make the same in fines. That's incredible.
There's one red light camera that actually sparked a huge boorara in Calgary, and it's on 16th Avenue and 10th Street, northwest. There's an Earl's restaurant that I used to frequent quite a bit, and I would sit by the window and look at the lightning strikes, because that's what it looks like from the outside when the camera goes. That camera on its own makes $1.7 million in fines a year. One camera. One way.
So you can get fined for running reds and things like that?
Oh yeah, you get fined, but they don't take the demerit points because they can't prove it was you driving. They just fine the license plate registrar.
Yeah, so we don't,
because they don't take pictures from the front. It's illegal here. You have to do it from the back. And also in Alberta, there's no front license plate, so it's completely useless.
In the Netherlands, this was a few years ago, the Minister of Justice just managed to just straight up nuke the whole system, right? Because the police were, I don't know, they were striking for better pay, and they didn't fine anybody for like 2 weeks or something like that. And the minister just came out after they got their pay thing settled and said, well, now since you went on strike, you just have to fine people more because we lost so much tax revenue. It's like, oh, so it is actually just a tax. It's nothing to do with safety.
It is. It's a gold mine.
Yeah, they lost like 151 million euro in like 2 weeks of striking.
I couldn't even imagine the fines like ACBR shift with the James Bond license plate, because I think that's a 30-day suspension of license in court in Calgary if you have a flippy plate.
Yeah. Like
there is a device.
Switzerland and Austria, they're only allowed to get the snow off your license plate. Like they flick and come up.
Yeah, that doesn't happen here. I've seen a device that I've seen some people install on their license plate, and it's an optical sensor with the flash in it. and it flashes in the exact same time when the camera flashes, so it washes out the license plate. It is illegal as fuck, but it's very hard to prove it.
Another thing, if I shouldn't say this, you know your trunk light, right? That shines down on your license plate. If you're slightly handy with a solder light, you can put an IR LED next to it, because when digital cameras take pictures of IR light, all you see is just like white
washed
haze.
out.
So you can't read it.
But the problem that
but your eyes
generates
can
more
see
lights.
it, right?
No, I understand that, but there is a certain voltage that is allocated to these lights. Hence, the fact that how the not the ACU, but the main computer reports to you that your lights are burnt out based on like, okay, I've lost this much load. Then that means your, let's say, left brake light is off, right? It's burnt.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to me on the Audi. That's how I know, because whoever put my car together, they had no idea of their sense of strength, and then when they zip tied the lights to the panel, they just fucking choked the shit out of it. And over the 8 years that I've been driving the car, I would open the trunk at least 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Because if I go for a service call, like I'm going to work, right? I would open the trunk, put my toolbox in, close the trunk. That's one cycle. And over time, it's separated directly at that point. So to resoldering these lights or fixing them was a pain in the dick. But you can't really add more load electrically to that.
Yeah, but you can splice it. I mean, there was a guy in London, right, who wore a baseball cap, and he had like a 9-volt battery in the top, and he put a bunch of
with the IR, the camera
like on the CCTV, it was just like a halo over his head, and they found
you
him
can't see anything
within a week.
Stop giving people ideas.
But yeah, it's
the funny thing with with my BMW, because I care a lot less about it than the 911. The 911 was always in the garage. All right.
What sound system do you have in it? Speaking of, since we're on a BeoTalk.
In the BMW?
Yes.
It's probably Harman Kardon.
Yeah, I think
which is subsidiary now to B&O, so I'm sure that they're using some of the tech from the B&O.
Let me just be clear about the BMW i3. Much as I love the functionality of it, small.
It's something
nippy.
To keep you dry and go around.
It's cheap to run and it suits me right. When I bought it like 5 years ago, it was 40K for a small car. It's a piece of crap inside. Oh, you've been in it,
yes.
Mike?
Yeah. Well, it's partially due to the dog.
No, the dog dirt aside. You know, you buy these German cars for an amount of like nice fit and finish, and okay, you can spec it when you're. It's a piece of crap.
Yes.
Unfortunately, most of the cars now, the build quality has gone down.
I imagine if you went in and to whatever Mercedes or BMW, and you wanted like a big 7 Series type saloon, yeah, you can make it look all really luxurious and stuff with paying for all the extras. But yeah, what's happened to the interiors? I'm like,
it's all plastic now.
Well, plastic. Not just that. For some reason, with the first I series, right, they went like super vegan as well. So like all the plastic on the inside was recycled and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you may or may not remember the whole dash kind of that the front whatever paneling in mine. Oh, it looks recycled. It looks like papier-mâché.
Well, because it was. Like that's for some reason, like the regular cars get like soft touch everywhere, and the I series, I guess it's for the range partially as well, right? To make it so much lighter, because at that point, like every pound, kilo starts to matter. Because if that car is like, I don't know, 150 kilos heavier, like all of a sudden you lose 10 miles of range. And
yeah. So much so, I don't think I'm going to do this, but check back with me, is that it looks like next year, it was due to be this year, but it looks like next year Porsche will bring out the Boxster as an EV.
Oh, that's sad.
In my opinion. That's a mistake. I need to rotate because the sun is getting to me. Sorry, boys.
So
you're sad.
Mike, you're in the camp. What you read the announcement, right?
I haven't. No.
So the semi-announcement is not that they're going to offer the Boxster Cayman as an EV. They're only going to offer it as an EV. And
that's even sadder.
That's a mistake, in my opinion.
So 95% of the Porsche community are like, who the fuck wants one of these? I'm in the 5% that does want one of these. That's not the Cayman. That's not the 718.
Yeah.
No, this is but this is the announcement on Car and Driver.
Yeah,
2027 Porsche 718 EV.
So you can see on Google it's been driving around Nürburgring.
Yeah, that's sad.
I mean, but this is going to end up the same way the Taycan does, right? Like, dealers won't even take them as trade-in. Like, at that point, right? Like, instead of just buying that, why don't you buy a second-hand Taycan? Because they're going to be like 30 grand or something.
Yeah, they're not quite as cheap as that, but
well, in a year or two, they will.
Yeah. One of these. Well, you're asking me, would I buy one of these new? Probably not. I might wait a year or so.
Yeah, that's the only drawback of the EVs. I think that their depreciation is severe, absolutely severe.
I mean, you already know with your current i3 or whatever it is, right? Like it's more an appliance than a car. Like, correct. And that goes for any electric car. Like if you ever need to replace the batteries, it's so expensive.
Well, it's the cost of a new car, or more or less.
So I checked a couple of years ago. So the battery bed, if the batteries were faulty,
yeah,
they'd run the computer and check. If the whole bed needed changing, now this was 2.5 years ago, it was £8,000 versus so 25% of the price of the car.
Yeah,
that's not terrible.
I guess it's cost equivalent to changing a blown engine.
Well, I think for the Taycan in pounds, it was something like between 60 and 70,000 pounds to change the battery.
Yeah, I imagine for the Taycan, it's a lot. It's a lot. I just don't love the Taycan enough.
Take on me.
It's okay. I don't know. In the whole Porsche lineup, the only thing that's kind of cool is 911s, and that's about it.
Definitely. Although my neighbor whose dog I'm looking after, he got the new Macan. They've just updated the Macan, and he got an EV version. It's quite nice, actually. They've sharpened up the design quite a bit.
Again, but it's an appliance, right? Like there's nothing to fix after like 5-10 years, other than like enormous costs on batteries.
So it's quite funny when I take the EV for a service. With the 911, I used to take it, or they used to come pick it up, and they'd drop it back. Maybe by the end of the day, by the next day, I drive to the BMW showroom. They plug in a computer, and they just say, "You may as well just wait."
Yeah, because like besides maybe some oil or windscreen washer fluid, there's nothing to do.
So I just wait. I mean, the upside is the service is fuck all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much service to it.
So I was paying annual.
But if it goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong cost-wise, because if you need to replace the battery pack, it's up.
Yeah.
They should just make a freaking car running on Milwaukee batteries.
Just click them in on the bottom.
Just click them in, man. If one dies, just click black. That's it. Patty whack. Call this. I think that would make more sense logically to me.
So going back to B&O, Mike, did you see those pictures that someone posted on Discord of the someone posted some nice pictures of some installs under photos?
I probably did.
You may have been doing proper life stuff this week rather than.
I kind of was, but Yeah, this is one of these names that only Willy can pronounce.
Zmyślony, that's it.
Yeah, that's Zmyślony.
Zmyślony, that's a Polish guy. Kurwa.
not that picture that could get a scroll through. Scroll. So there's a closer up picture of that theatre on the wall.
Yes.
No, go back a stage. Go back a page.
I wonder, is that a Ferrari or an anthracite version of it? Because it's very different color.
I think it's an anthracite or regular Willy, just with loads of reflections.
It could be as well, yeah. But to me, like the silver is not as shiny silver as I would expect.
You're right. Yeah,
it could be an Atelier version, of course.
I think,
and for the house it's in, I could see that this being an Atelier.
So I zoomed in on that picture quite a lot because I quite like the
wall bracket.
It's framed. Well, it's got the extra arm underneath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the motorized wall bracket. Yeah,
which I don't love, but as a general install, the way it's all framed, I quite like that
because it's recessed a little bit back.
It's recessed a little. So the other
I've done installations where they've recessed half. They made a half inch. Yeah, it was a half inch. No, sorry, 3/4 inch frame, or the opening was 3/4 inch larger than the theater itself, because you can still hang it. But the recess was exactly flush when you put the wings on. The wall and wings would meet like this. So you only see half. You only see the pronounced grill. That's it. The only thing that the guy fucked up on is the choice of the wallpaper. It was very Chinese, and but the way that was executed was absolutely spot on, and that's what I would do if I were to do it.
It's a very nice
on a wall. It's beautiful with the edge on the wall. That's a perfect application for it, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, it took me a while to notice that edge on the wall.
Yeah. No, it looks great. It looks absolutely great.
But Willie, that semi-recessed theatre, that's what I'll do when I do my wood paneling.
It looks really good. It honestly looks really good. Hey, fly, don't get into my bourbon because you're gonna die in it.
And then you'll be eaten.
No, I'm not gonna be eating no freaking Bahamian flies here. I'm gonna fish it out. But yeah, no, that's the proper way to do it. Yes, you lose the motorized function, but there is a way to do it when the motorized wall bracket, because it doesn't move the same way as the Avant did, which would offset itself by like 15 centimeters because of the crane arm and the whole mechanic of it, right? It was impossible to do. I love the fact that the harmony, like when it's closed, it'll match the slats. That's sickening.
Is it me or is this off center?
Slightly,
or is it because of the drapes?
I think it's because of the drapes.
It's the drapes are parked. Yeah, that's the sad part. So how do you center it? But that 50 is tucked in too far in.
It is. But whether it's this picture or the picture of the theatre install, I quite like these. I mean, I've looked at a lot of luxury media wall type installations on YouTube, and some of them are too flashy.
Yes.
Too much marble, too many lights. This one or the other picture with the theatre, it's quite classy. I quite like them.
Yes, very much so.
I think we'll go for something like that next year when I find some money.
But yeah, recessed theater is good, and it doesn't really affect the sound performance because you still have enough that the up-firing drivers will shoot in decent way. Also, you have the benefit of the microphone tuning, so a lot of that is being compensated for internally on the theater side.
So that's a good. Someone else was on Discord was trying to design their wall, blah blah blah. So
yes, I saw that.
I looked at Noto on the Noto website just for the exploded view. I just came up on Google, and actually, because I couldn't quite remember exactly where the side fire, how are the side firing and up firing aligned? And they're towards the front of the unit, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
So if you semi-recess half the theatre, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Yes.
affect it much at all. It doesn't affect it much at all. And whatever it would affect it, more or less, it's still compensated by the microphone because you're not doing this full. You just have a little bit overlap of the wall to maybe like, I would say 25% of the upfiring driver if you recess it completely.
If you
It's
like
not that much.
cats, this is potentially one of the best pictures in the last few weeks. His face.
He looks pissed.
That's a moody cat.
Yeah, he looks pissed.
But he's so fluffy. Imagine being so fluffy and being so moody.
That is funny. I love that picture. That install is it's not really an install because it's a theater on the floor stand, but I love the fucking concrete behind it. That's just so sexy.
That's Willie, that's what the Mayfair store is roughly like.
That's
harsh surfaces, concrete, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this setup is in our intro.
Yes. No, that's a beautiful setup for sure.
It's also a proper way of using the 18s, I think.
The only thing that visually bothers me on the 18s next to the theater, that the grill finish has a different finish on it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where the theater slats are flat on the front and these are rounded. So that's the only gripe that I have with the 18s, and that's why I have them in the back. Even when I had them in the old studio when I lived in Montreal, I tried them in the front, and I just like, you know what? I would go with 28s at the front because then that design language is the same.
Yeah, the wood matches better.
Wood matches better in shape of it, not just the color. But
I'm just still sad to see the 18s go, quite honestly.
Maybe they'll come up with something else that I think the 18s are the last speaker with that much aluminum on them as a full body.
Yes.
Well, 50s have quite a lot.
Not comparatively to if you go with the Mercedes girls and whatever, they do have quite a lot, but it's not aluminum that makes the speaker acoustically dead per se, because everything inside it is that ABS fiberglass, whatever, that rigid plastic that they have, right? And the aluminum doesn't serve any acoustical purpose in that speaker, which doesn't really matter because the DSP in it compensates for all that nonsense to begin with anyways. But this is the last speaker that has the most aluminum, second to Lab 1.
Yeah, because you have the cone and then the whole piece until the top. So it's 3 pieces of aluminium.
Everything, yes. So it's a beautiful speaker, and kudos to Thorsten for taking on the challenge years and years ago to do it, because it's hard to fill the shoes of a genius designer.
But I think it's sad to see them go. But that column shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, it still survives in the 28s.
I think that column shape is going to survive in B&O portfolio for much, much longer. And I think that the 28s are not the last shaped speaker that way at all.
That's what I was about to say. So they'll always have something that shape.
Maybe there's going to be BeoLab 48. You never know, right? And it's going to be something different.
Well, I mean, the reason they'll do it is because they've had it for a long time. The 18s did sell well, right?
Oh, yeah.
And no one else does them. No one else does them.
No.
Even if you find the non-big cabinet type, the quirkier ones, they're nothing close to the tube, right?
No.
So you're right. I agree. They'll always do something.
They're going to come up with something. I think that they should come up with something that is between the 28s and the 50s, because the 28s Not that they're becoming irrelevant acoustically, but to me they are a little bit, especially when you pair them with the theater, because the theater picks up the bass, so the 8s are a better purchase. I think.
Especially if you just pair a subwoofer with them, it becomes irrelevant.
Yes. So, and if they release a new subwoofer, is it going to be obviously it'll have to be a Mozart platform subwoofer. Now the question would be like, do you actually put touch interface on a sub, which makes no sense, because what are you going to bend down to press my button 1 on it? You know, but then it's also irrelevant for the subwoofer to have any of that interface when if you do the DPL and the subwoofer is the streaming platform per se, right? Then you can control it from the 8s, just like you would when you DPL the 8s to the theater.
But isn't that just an argument for them leaving the 19 alone?
I think the 19 is going to go. Personally,
that was my guess, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I think the 19, maybe it'll be in the portfolio for a few more years, but I think the 19 is going to go as soon as they will have to replace it, because I think that the Mozart platform is going to be universally adopted to all the portfolio products. Just
there's
like
no real way to use it with the source. Even with the Connect Core, it's kind of weird to use it. The 19.
Well, yeah, you got to go through fucking 2 splitters, right? Because you got to go RJ45 power link out of the core into the splitter. That one goes into another splitter that splits it to, let's say, the 18s, and then the other port goes into the 19, where there's no crossover like it used to be on the yesteryears of the BeoLab 2, where that used to shave off 120 hertz off all the speakers from the power link outs from the subwoofer. So that being said, yeah, I know the ABL has gotten much smarter and better and more efficient, but yeah, it's a cumbersome install if you have to hardwire it. And you know, I've done installs with the Core 19 and a pair of 8s or 18s. It's a tough one. It's a tough nugget to crack sometimes, to do it cleanly.
So the other thing with lots of 8, not exclusively, but plenty of a good amount of 18s buyers, because the 18s didn't go down that low, would get a 19. Now, if the 18s have gone,
what do you do?
8s. 8s all day long. 8s are great.
You know these 17s behind me?
Yeah, they're great too. But you can't buy those anymore unless you find them secondhand.
So I have no need to do this, and I really hope I don't do this. But when I choose when the lighting's done, I choose the wall paneling, the wood wall paneling, whatever, for the opposite wall. Aesthetically, I'd quite like to swap those out for 8s.
Yes.
Watch this space. I really don't want to do it.
I mean,
I really don't want to do it. I have zero need.
Look, I'm pretty much known as the lover of 17s, right? And I have a shit ton of them. And price-wise, new versus like secondhand, it doesn't make sense to buy 8s, but that doesn't mean 8s aren't better. Because they are.
They are better. The only thing is that my gripe with the 8s is the fact that if you do put them as rear channel effects speakers, you basically gave up half the use case of that speaker, if not all of. Well, you've given up all of the use case for that speaker as far as like having them all that magic on the top.
No, actually, specifically for Sunday, no. Because you can use, if you DPL them, you can use the top to control your theater.
Now you can, yes. But it depends where you put them. If you put them as height rears, then yeah, in your use case, they're too far up. Like, you know, what are you going to take a milk crate to stand on to see what button you're pressing?
No, you just angle them down slightly.
I get a back scratcher.
Yeah.
Duke.
You need to get that finger stick that you see on YouTube right
on the points and shit.
Yeah.
But this is the inner Willy in me will basically, once the wood is there, I'll need to make sure it matches the wood on my 50s.
Yeah, that's my disease too, brother.
And then I've got 2 theatre grills at the moment. I've got the darker wood, whatever, can't remember what color it is. The dark oak.
The smoked oak.
Smoke.
No, dark oak. Yeah, dark oak, smoked oak, and walnut. That's what there was.
What's the one that
before
comes with the
atelier.
anthracite? What's the one that comes with the anthracite?
Dark oak. Dark oak.
Dark oak.
It's dark oak.
I've Mike, you've seen this. I've long said to people on Discord, be careful. It looks great in a brightly lit showroom. So it's in my living room now with the lights on at this level. It looks black.
Yes.
So there's going to be some wood changing.
It doesn't accent the speaker at all.
It doesn't.
I mean, the inverse is also true, right? Because they have the Mercedes grille fronts in anthracite and the sort of gold tone as well. And the anthracite one looks like it's too small in a very bright room.
You're talking about 50s?
Yeah. The front cover, right?
Yeah.
Like if you go to the B&O shop in London, they have all 3 of them, I think. At least the anthracite one. But like that bezel looks way thicker. It sort of looks weird.
Mm.
In that Mayfair showroom, the anthracite 50s, in that bright light, I love them. But they just won't look like that here.
No.
It's
unless you have a spotlight on them all the time.
It's the same as when I saw the piano black 50s in Harrods a few years ago, before I got these. And I went in there, I was like, yeah, it's on a white marble plinth and white marble and a lunatic asylum lighting. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
But
they somewhat disappear.
It's a black hole if there's no light on them.
What's that black, that Vanta black, right? That sucks the energy out of the universe. It's like putting a big blob of those. So when I do my wood stuff and my wood wall next year, what's your theatre cover, Willie? Smoked?
No, I have a walnut. I have a walnut right now. But I'm going to change it to Tegrino silver.
Oh, yeah, you agreed to send me your walnut, didn't you?
No, I did not. I don't remember having that conversation at all.
No, you did.
I have the oak and I have the walnut, and I'm gonna get the Tegrino one. But what I'm actually debating on doing is when the Tegrino comes, I'm gonna take some of those lamellas out, or lamellae out, and I'm gonna do the staggered. So I would like to have going from walnut into silver or the other way around, because I'll have 2 grills that I can play with. So I'll have one inverse of the other.
It'll be like your own Art Deco version.
Basically, but I don't want those 2. Like, I understand the Art Deco, even though it doesn't, like, it's irritating that those first 2 lamellae are silver or whatever, right? But it's the same. If you'd have to buy it with the 28s to communicate the design language and concept together, because those first 2 lamellae are also silver on the lap 28. So when everything is closed, it looks unison.
Yeah.
So that's my laptop is gonna explode. But yeah, that's it's a song and a dance for our next time. That's for sure. Where is that? What is that? A showroom or a house?
No, this is DJ Martin Jensen's house. He sold or is on sale. These are his rear 90s.
Fucking hell.
Because why not, right? Like,
why not? I love that shape in the bathroom.
Yeah, it looks
that's
nice.
Actually not a bad idea to do that. I'm not gonna do it in this house, but because I don't have enough wall to do it with.
You need to buy a house first.
Or rent an apartment. Yeah, that is bigger. But yeah, that's I like the color combo because I went all the different colors, but 2-tone is not bad at all. Oh, the good old Eclipse. There's a lot of issues with the power supply now on the Eclipses, or Eclipse, whatever you want to call it. There's a few of them that died, which isn't that bad of a repair, but at least the modules are accessible fairly easy without removing the TV off the wall and taking everything apart like the Avant used to be.
How much is the repair?
Not
crazy.
Not crazy at all. It's around $1,500 Canadian, I think.
So like
He's got even a shape on the ceiling.
Yeah,
You had a shape on the ceiling.
Yeah, in the dressing room, because if you're a local celebrity, obviously you need shoes galore.
I wonder where he's hiding the app. Because there's not enough.
In one of these cubbies up here?
Probably, yeah. That's a cool house. I think, the biggest problem that I have with going into these high-end homes, it's very hard. Like if I were to, let's say I won a lottery, I would build my own house. It would be so hard for me to agree with myself on what I would put in based on how many different design ideas I have seen.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
what
like building
depends on like how much money you have, right? Because like
no, I don't think it's about the money. I think
it's about the idea.
I mean, I've got a mood board saved of like loads of images, and there's from like my living room wall and stuff I'm going to do in the bedroom, and each of those I just point to them. I just want to show an interior designer and go, just do that. But then I've got 3 or 4 of those, just do that. That's your point, really. There's a few design ideas that are like amazing.
So then you get stuck in the loophole of how do you choose what you want to have, and am I going to be happy with? Maybe I should have gone with that revision instead of this revision. So, it's a long thought process to do that.
In that sense, I quite like the simplicity of this house. Just do shapes everywhere. If you decide for different color, get different covers, right?
Well, yeah, if you decide to paint the walls differently, you don't even have to paint the walls. You just change the covers on the shape, and it'll change the mood of the room.
Yeah. And then,
but then you end up with a warehouse full of freaking shape covers and grills and stuff.
Well, if you're that rich, just toss them, right? Or send them for free to your friends. Henrik probably wants to buy them.
Right. But yeah, that's true. It's
and like what I like, because I did the same, just like do the maximum effort in your living room, because that's the room you use anyway, right? Like actually.
Yes.
Like I understand all this zoning and whatnot, and maybe like an office like mine, or like where you spend your secondary time, but the rest of the time it's sort of like you listen to this shit in your living room. Like you don't need every hallway to have speakers.
Yeah, I'm that way around.
Like same like his like shoe room or clothing room or whatever. I don't spend enough time dressing myself to like turn shit on. Like no, I'm in.
That's why you get a BLI. So when I get home, I have a program set or a macro that with my keychain, I have the IR receiver, which is called BeoSound Moment. I have the IR receiver in the foyer that when I press, it turns on the light and turns on the emerge for exactly 7 minutes. And then it's off.
If I'm ever that rich, I'll just fly you over and come, like, shadow me for a week, see what we do.
That's definitely the Patrick Bateman model of home automation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I don't mind. The funny thing is that I used to have a macro that would turn on the lounge FM radio, right? And here's the psychology of this shit again. When I put leaving home, everything shuts off sequentially. So it goes from the living room it follows all the way to the foyer. And then the foyer stays turned on for 7 minutes because sometimes I forget shit and I have to run back in and grab it so I don't have to touch the lights. But the problem that I had with it, that the emerge would turn on the lounge FM radio, and then I would get poisoned by the one song that played for that specific time while I put the shoes on, that I would have it stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
So what happens when you give up control?
So I just changed it to like a Comedy Central 103, whatever. So it's just a bunch of jokes and shit that comes out. It's a Comedy Central radio that comes out on my emerge when I come in home and I leave home, because spoken word is way more easier to forget than having a song being implanted in your head for the majority of the day.
Really on his work site of Taylor Swift songs in his head.
No, there's no fucking Taylor Swift on that. God, it is, man. But I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like there's all, and it's a lounge FM radio. I've been listening to it for years and years. So like some of the songs do repeat themselves, obviously. and then you catch that one tune that I dislike it, but I'm just I'm putting my shoes on, and the emerge is just far enough from the reach that I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to reach for the Bio Remote 1 that is on the wall either to switch tracks. So I just have that thing injected in my brain for the rest of the day. So and again, that's another thing that the research and psychology goes into the home automation, right? What do you put on? Yeah, that's it. So yeah,
it's houses
all day long, man, and it really is brain damaging. So I had to change that macro to have something else come on. Because back in Calgary, I had not CBC radio, but I had 660 News. So at least we were leaving the house, the traffic and blah 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 with reports, and it's different. But here everything is in French in Montreal, so I don't give a shit for it, right? I'm not gonna listen to the traffic reports from Calgary because that don't mean anything to me. I'm across the country to listen to it. So
speaking of audio stuff, I was just catching up on news. So Spotify are putting up their prices, not very much, but they're putting them up.
I think it's because they went lossless.
No, they haven't done it yet, right? But
really?
No, they announced this 2.5 years ago, and they haven't done it, right? They haven't done it, but they're still growing their users. So they just reported they're up at 275 million users globally. So
they're paying the artists yet, or still no?
Well, here's what they do. So I think they've done it in the US, and they're now doing it in other territories, adding $1 per month to like the basic kind of subscription tiers.
I think that's the recent trend as well, because I got an email from YouTube that their policy and subscription service is coming on September 1st. So I wonder now, my $12.99 Canadian that I pay $13, let's say, to Google, is that going to be sufficient enough to not have commercials, or do I have to go to a $15 plan?
No.
Yes, they already said YouTube Red is going to get commercials again.
So I'm gonna opt that because it's the only service that I use. So fuck it. I don't care. I don't watch Netflix and waste my time on that. I gave up Amazon because I'm paying, but I'm not paying enough to have a commercial in the dead center of the movie. I appreciate the piss break, thank you, but I can just press pause and go, right? Like I don't need you to put a commercial in to kick me out, and it always is like just before somebody gets shot or a big explosion happens or some serious thing goes down in the movie, and poof, there's a fucking Braun shaver commercial. Why the fuck?
So the thing that Spotify is also doing that's interesting is they've announced they're launching a super premium tier.
And what is that?
No, we don't know yet, right? And I think it's I have a similar reaction. We don't know the details. The way people are talking, it's either going to be that's where the higher sound quality is, but I don't think that's what they care about. What they're hinting at is that it's for super fans. So if you're a super fan of Coldplay or Taylor Swift, there'll be I don't know. So we're not talking about more bit rate here. We're talking about early access or bullshit, right? It's
the hooks.
It's bullshit. I mean, I've been a super fan of certain artists over the last 20, 30 years, but not so much that I'd
want to bleed extra money for it.
But they're not talking an extra $1. They're talking those will be $20 a month type subscriptions, not 12.
Oh, shut the front door, man.
So it's cheaper to just buy the fucking CD.
And do you know what? I've been having this internal monologue with myself, thinking I don't listen to quite as much music as I used to.
No, I consume a lot more radio.
I'm like Willie. I consume an awful lot of YouTube and an awful lot of podcasts. I do listen to music, and I do love my setup with Rune and everything and whatever. I love all of that. Would I actually be that much worse off if I just bought my music?
No, not at this point anymore.
I don't think. I think.
Look, it's the same with all the internet video services, right? You might as well get cable again.
Which I never.
Well, it's heading that way. It's heading that way with the ads. Well,
especially here in the US, right? Cable was always silly money. but a lot of people did. And then like all this Netflix stuff, it only really worked here because like it was so much cheaper by comparison. But now you need like 5 different subscriptions, and they're all $25 a month again. So you might as well get cable again.
Well, I think the biggest bollocks is that they split up the fucking series of certain shows into different platforms and streaming services. So, okay, you can watch the season 1 on Fubo or Fubu or whatever, just for example, right? But the next one is on Skyjack. What the fuck? Now I got to pay that and this and that just to consume one show? God, this man, come on.
So I did a bit of a cull. I've still got my cable because I need it for sport, but I had like other stuff, and I got Paramount Plus free with my cable, but then that free Paramount Plus became chock full of adverts, unless you pay.
Yeah,
that became less good. I've still got Amazon Prime. I never watch anything on Amazon Prime. I'm pretty sure I'm going to kill that.
I have it for free package deliveries because that's how the US works, really.
Yes.
Yeah, well, similar here. But in reality, I don't order that much stuff off Amazon. I order a lot of vaping stuff and some dog stuff, and I can do it once a year and just store the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to kill Amazon Prime, and I'm not allowed to use my sister's Disney Plus anymore because of the password sharing. So
I think those subscription services, the business model that they have, in my opinion, once the people are start to wake up a little more, they're subscribing themselves out of business.
Yeah.
Well, apart from Netflix are winning. The others are not.
Yes.
It's making pirating a valid option again at this point because like everything is everywhere. And
I watched I think it was a podcast or whatever, like a couple snippets of it that the pirating, I guess the torrent download of movies has gone up by a lot more than what it used to be because people are just sick and tired of it. At the end of the day, most of the shows on the Netflix are utter garbage and waste of time.
Yeah, they're not good enough.
No, it's utter garbage. Like Jason Statham, Beekeeper, right? Like what the fuck, man?
I kind of liked that movie because it was sort of like, well, whatever. It's a good enough watch, right?
But okay, if you want to watch the worst movie, and I think that should be in a Guinness World Book of Records, is Ice Cube's War of Worlds.
Yeah, I saw part of that.
I made it 10 minutes in and I turned it off, and I was telling my colleague when I was like, bro, man, if you want to, like, this is a brain damaging movie to the nines. So he's like, no way, blah, blah, this and that. So he loaded it up on whatever the streaming service he has. He made it 15 minutes in. Like, it was so bad. We're both laughing because we're both tech guys, right? So, like, you're fucking using free TeamViewer to hack into Pentagon. Are you feeding me some bullshit carrots in here?
There's product placement in there where they need something to hack something, right? And
it's an
Amazon-sponsored film. So they go on Amazon, add to carts, the free delivery.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Dude, that movie is so bad. It's so bad that it literally, like, your brain hemorrhages 15 minutes into it. It is the worst shit I had ever... If I could, I would charge Netflix or Amazon Prime the 10 minutes that I spent on watching it. I've never made it. It's become a meme now where people watch it because it's so bloody bad. But I've never made it to the end.
I don't even make it. I didn't even click on these things. I'm almost thinking, I was looking at Netflix last night. This is my Netflix experience, which is some people will just turn on something and just watch it to fill some time. But a lot of people, and I'm in this category, I'll open on the LG and then just scrolling through thumbnails. Then you go down and then the same stuff repeats in a different row. And it reminds me of when I was like 12 years old and my parents let me walk around to the Blockbuster Video. There was a giant Blockbuster Video near us. And me and my friends would just walk around for like half an hour going, did you find anything? Not really.
Yeah, that was more exciting than actually watching something.
And we're back at this. We're just staring at all these thumbnails.
But without the social interaction, because if you go to Blockbuster, like I'm from those yesteryears of time, Where if you go to Blockbuster, yeah, first of all, you have to hope that the movie that you want to watch is still available because some asshole didn't print it out before you, right? And then you load up on Twizzlers and garbage and chips and things and crisps and whatever, right? And then you come home with a VHS tape of some sorts.
And you'd watch it.
And you'd watch it. And you'd rewind it and you'd return it back. But now it's just like, when I'm sitting with my girlfriend, we're trying to pick a movie. It's never an argument. It's just like, for fuck's sakes, man, come on. Okay, this, no, that, no, this, no, that, no, this, no, that, no. Fudge. Like there's nothing that is enough attention grabbing anymore that is worth my time to consume that, and it's worth my time to pay that money for the subscription to waste my time.
So the end of that story for me is I just close it and end up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watch some dash cam videos on car crashes. It's way more entertaining than fucking, because that's some action right there, man. It's real. Yeah, the Russian dash cams, bro, that is an award winner for me, man, because I understand what they're saying as well. And it is utterly entertaining. But
having fist fights with snowmen and stuff like that.
Oh my god, man! But Laurit says the only way is Kaleidoscape. I agree with you. For the actual content streaming quality, yes, you can download movies, but at the same time, be it Netflix or be it a Kaleidoscape, the movies that are available there are the same that are available on Netflix at the end of the day. Because there is no better movies. They don't have special Hollywood production for Kaleidoscape. You're doing the same thing, just differently. Kaleidoscape is way more intelligent because if you go to let's say, Saving Private Ryan, you put that on, and then all the movies around cluster around that genre, right? So you have your Black Hawk Down and Act of Valor and blah blah blah. I can't name all these, but just ones that I watched. But anything before 2018 was good. Anything after that is just garbage. Honestly, it's like garbage content that is pumped out. It's mindlessly pumped out. And some of the movies, even though they're shit, they have a really, really good soundtrack because the sound engineer was somebody that didn't have their earwax in their ears. But most of the stuff is actually not worth a dime and a dollar to look at.
So I pay for, you cancelled your Netflix a while ago. I get a slight discount if I bill it through my cable. But the 4K, the full fat 4K Netflix is like, I can't remember what it is here. Like it's £19 a month.
Yeah, it's $24 in Canada.
I didn't use it. I think that's probably the next to go.
Yeah.
On that note, stick around for a bit. I'm going to roll the outro. Have a good week, everybody. Love you long time, and see you next week.
See you back in Montreal.
Probably not next week, right?
Next week, I don't know. It's up in the cards. But I'm committed. I think we're going to do this next week for sure. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll see.
Okay,
Thanks
bye.
for watching. Bye.